I've weighed out just over 150 grams of starter. So I'm going to add 1.5 times that, which is about 225 grams. So I've got about 1.5 times as much flour there, just over 220. So I'm going to mix that together in a big bowl. Put the starter in. I'm going to add 1/2 part water, so that's about 75 grams of water as well. 77, that's close enough. And a little bit of salt. That just looks too dry. That looks really, really dry. So I'm going to add more water. 30 grams of water, so still too dry. Wet is supposed to be better, and this is really dry. Surprisingly dry. So that's another 40 grams of water. Okay, that looks like coherent dough now. That looks like something I should be able to knead. Now this is quite wet, so maybe I've added too much water, but they say wetter is better. So 20 minutes of kneading. So it got very sticky, but now it's looking like a proper bit of dough now. And I've been kneading it for about 20 minutes. So keep kneading, I guess. I'm supposed to be activating the gluten in the bread. Very sticky, very messy. So this is my kneaded dough. It was very, very messy. It's the first time I've done any kneading, and I think there's techniques that I need to learn about how to, I don't know, secrets, because it was all sticking on my fingers. It looked like I had dough gloves on, and it was sticking everywhere, sticking on this board as well. So I had some flour on the side so I could keep adding it on to try and stop it sticking to the board, but it kept sticking to my hands. It was really like wearing flour dough gloves. So I've never done it before, so I think there must be secrets that I don't know to when you're kneading dough. Another thing I noticed, I think there must be a technique for kneading. I think it must just be squashing it, because I always started off sort of folding it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, so I ended up just sort of squashing it and pulling it back into shape and then squashing it again. And I was sort of using my flat hand, because when I squeezed it with my fingers it all got stuck to all my fingers, so and it just got really messy. So what I'm going to do now is put it in this greased bread tin, and I've just sort of gone round that with some butter, and then I'm going to put it in a warm place, and hopefully that will rise into a nice loaf after about 6 hours rising. So it has risen. So here's my sourdough. It's been rising for 18 hours, which is quite a long time, and but I did read that you should give sourdough a long time to rise. I don't think it meant that long, but it has. It's been on a warm shelf above a radiator. It's probably doubled in size. Ooh, oh, it feels soft. And so now I'm going to put it in the oven, which I've preheated, 200 degrees centigrade. So I'm going to leave that in for about 20 minutes. I don't know how to tell if it's done. Feels hard. So it's shrunk around the edges. If I had a food thermometer I could check the temperature inside, and it suggested if it's about 200 degrees inside it should be okay to take out. Well, the outside looks cooked, so I'm just going to let it cool. I'm going to put it on a cooling rack, let it cool, and hopefully it's cooked inside. It came out nice and easy. Looks a bit cakey. Looks like a brick. It feels quite heavy. I mean, obviously the yeast is working, because you can see these air pockets where the yeast is, or the bacteria has been giving off carbon dioxide as it feeds on the flour. But I don't think it's risen as much as it should do. It's quite thin. Some air pockets. So yeah, looks a bit cakey. Yeah, it's not risen enough. Should still be edible though. Slice of cake. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's cooked enough. Let's taste it. Well, it's quite chewy, and it's sour. It's definitely sour. It is sourdough. It's proper sourdough. I don't think it was in the oven long enough because it's quite chewy. I've toasted it, so I thought if it is undercooked then toasting it might help. With butter on, it's got very distinctive sour taste. It's nice. Just a bit chewier. It's just a bit chewier than I'd like. With butter and Marmite. Yes, it works well with Marmite. Butter and Marmite. What will it be like with jam? Sweet and sour. Tasty. Tasty.